There you go. Okay, we're live. I'd like to call to order the City of Fun Oaks Board of Aldermen meeting for February 4th, 2026. We stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll please.
Alderman Eisenhower, here. Alderman Cruzen,
Here.
Alderman Crawford,
Present.
Alderman Stokel,
Here.
Mayor Fortune, here.
The agenda is posted for tonight's meeting. No changes. I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. We approve the agenda. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Any citizen comments at this time? Paul Brockman?
First of all, I think the new website's a great improvement. I would give a little more prominence to finding the code. I didn't have a problem finding it, but it's down in the lower right. Something ought to be up in the banner somewhere up on top.
So what now?
The code, when you want to find the code in the past and other previous websites,
City ordinance?
yeah, it was difficult to find where to click on the link. Now it's in that lower right corner, but I still think it ought to be higher up on the banner.
Okay.
Not a big deal, but consideration. I just want to take a minute and talk to you about the bill 26-02 that you're going to consider tonight regarding the right of way. First of all, where would I go in the code to find out the definition of pavement? Anybody tell me real quick? I mean, it's not a test. I didn't know where to look. I'd like to know what that definition is. Read it to me real quick. Is it not a definition if it's not capitalized? Well, I don't need it to go on. It's a minor point. I guess what I'm concerned about this bill is that as I, the homeowner, feel like I'm out on the hook regarding right of way. And, what if the contractor damages property, not within the right of way, my personal property? Is the city writing into their contracts that the contractor is responsible for any damage that they cause to homeowners' property that they're working up adjacent to, whether they're in the right of way or not in the right of way?
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily write it into every contract, because if they go outside of our right of way trespass, well, then your actions directly to them. They got no business to be on your property. So if they get on your property and actually damage it, they trespass and they owe you money.
Well,
That's gonna be hard to prove.
that's going to be really hard to prove.
In what sense? You mean you can't tell if they destroyed your stuff?
Oh, because first of all, none of us have property stakes exactly in the fronts of our yards or backs of our yards. So none of us know within an inch, a foot, or even where the actual property line is and where the right of way starts. Second off, I'm only talking about utility contractors. Now, when they're out there, they're all over your yard. They don't give a hoot whether they stay in the right of way or where. I mean, I've seen terrible examples. They got a pickup truck parked in people's driveways, chains across the street, pulling wires. It's terrible. It really is. So we don't do a good job of policing anybody that uses it. But it's just the tenor of this thing that says you, city, will help the owner make a claim to the contractor if there is damage done to my improvements within the right of way. And it just, I don't know, it just rubbed me wrong. It rubbed me wrong. Like you can talk about, somewhere I read the term sovereign immunity and all this kind of stuff. Let's get human, let's get real. It's just, I don't see it as fully fair. And that's partially why I was asking about the definition of pavement and abutment, because the definition here in this new ordinance talks about the right of way to the back of the pavement. But is the curb included in the definition of pavement? really get nitty here and picky, but, you know, it's all important. Oh, and by the way, on this ordinance that you're gonna read tonight, that should be reference B, not A, where it says right-of-way maintenance in the ordinance. There's a typo there. But I'm a little concerned that it's left to the homeowner to deal with the contractor if city contractor causes damage to my property. I would hope that all your contracts have some sort of language that says, you know, if you I mean, it stands to reason, but in this day and age, why not put it in the contract? It also helps the homeowner deal with the contractor. I mean, if you're gonna ask them, if you're gonna make the impression in the right of way, maybe you will talk, but it says you will, but wills can be interpreted a lot of different ways. It just, the whole thing just rubs me wrong to put this in the bill and the code. The other thing is, on D, sub D4D that you're talking about here, it talks about unsafe, impedes drainage or interferes with public right of way. Where's aesthetics in our ordinances as far as maintaining aesthetics? What's defined by aesthetics? And I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is there's 2 mailboxes in the city of Twin Oaks that are the pits. And I have mentioned it to city administrators, I mentioned it to the post office, and nothing happened. Go figure. I don't know. Mailboxes are supposedly controlled by the postmaster. But you guys could do something about that. It would help my property values and your property. And then I'm getting picky on sub D on 4 here that you're talking about driveway aprons, approaches, and culverts. It says within a specified time frame. What is the specified time frame determined by who at the end of that? Again, I'm getting really picky, but pretty big at the end of the day. And then finally, I guess I would hope that the city would come to me if snowplow hit my mailbox or something and say, hey, we screwed up, we're gonna replace your mailbox. Instead of me having to go back to the city and also deal with, in this case, Crowder, about getting a mailbox. It's just, again, it's just those kinds of things drove me. The other thing, I have no idea what the cost is. Now I'm off of this subject for a minute, but I saw a news article where they now have a piece of equipment that goes down the street. They just lower it in front of everybody's driveway and clear their driveway off. And then go to the next driveway after a snowplow is left the bridge in the driveway. I always say that, send out the email and mention that, but probably it's really expensive, but maybe you can go in with, you know, a couple of the municipalities and split the cost or something, just or put it into future contract.
Yeah, it is a problem when after we run the plows through, then everybody's got this wall of snow in front of the driveways. Okay.
Those are my thoughts. Thank you.
We have a consent agenda, Board of Aldermen regular meeting minutes from January 21st. Bills list January 17th to January 30th.
I move we accept the consent agenda of bills.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Consent agenda is approved, please report.
The month of January, we had 30 radio calls, 164 self-initiated, generated 6 reports, 9 traffic stops. We had 2 felony arrests, 3 auto accidents, and 1 crime report, which is a violation of expertise. And I logged about 5 hours on the bike.
So what drug paraphernalia is illegal now? Meth pipes.
Yes.
What else?
A lot of it has to do with the substance that is found with the paraphernalia.
And why are we why did we have an ex parte order at Bardolino's?
I cannot go into the details, but it was a violation of said order.
By Bartolino's or by
No,
some,
it occurred at Bartlett.
so maybe a restraining order?
That would be it, next person.
Thank you.
Question. Old business. That takes us to new business, bill number 2605. 2602, sorry. Please read that.
Bill number 2602, an ordinance amending section of 500.105 of the Twin Oaks Municipal Code pertaining to maintenance of abutting right of way.
Okay, having heard what we just heard, I can't imagine the city telling a resident, well, that's something you're gonna have to take up with Crowder. I can't imagine any situation where we're not going to be helping. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about, should we look at this further, or is it nitpicking a little bit?
Well, he's not wrong that we do have to find more pavement here.
Pavement?
I don't know what matters, because we don't. I mean, I would assume that there is one somewhere that we're relying on basic definition of what pavement is, yes. But not wrong, it's not defined. Couldn't find it because it's not there. So I don't know if that matters.
Don't you think that
I agree with you.
the intent was not necessarily pavement, but it was roadway? Because it included the road and the curb. Pavement could be sidewalk, pavement could be
Right,
a number of things.
right. Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, I'm actually trying to read where the word pavement occurs
Yeah,
in
where
here.
it
that
was
he was-
used.
Yeah, that's, I'm actually
I
rereading.
think we need to look at what was the intent of that usage.
I mean, I think the city meant that was the curb. And if you didn't have a curb, then it's the end of the pavement. I think engineers say backup pavement and they mean the curb or the lack of the curb. But, you know, who knows, that's been in the code for a while.
Well, could we say, curb, or if the curb is not present, it's the road pavement or whatever it is?
Say whatever you want, I just don't know what the confusion is. It's like,
I'm not sure.
they shall extend to the abutting right of way of each lot to the back of pavement. So, you know, maybe it's confusing, I don't get confusing, but maybe it's confusing. But yeah, we could say the curb, or if not a curb, the edge of the street.
Could you just say roadway?
Sure. You can say, like I said, if you think it's confusing, we should put the word in there that people will understand. Like I said, that's in the existing code that wasn't added, we didn't touch that part, but we can touch that part, change it to, we could. Or we can drive the right of way.
The other question I had was, in our contracts with, say somebody replacing our curbs, where they're working in the right of way, and there is damage to the homeowner's property. There's nothing in there in our contract that addresses that.
There's probably something in our, 40-page contract that we use for the larger road project and stormwater and all those kinds of things. I don't know if there's anything smaller contracts or in the one, but there may be something in the one for snow plowing. My recollection is, my problem is I looked about 300 of those, so my recollection is most of them talk about mailboxes, et cetera, et cetera. And talks about it, vis-a-vis contractor fixing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because everybody's aware there's no plowing service, so it's usually in the contract, that's probably, but I mean, we can, and if it's not, we'll have it.
I'm more concerned about the, let's say, small curb jobs, repair work. Where maybe the contracts are not quite as complicated as all general. If they would do some damage to homeowners' property, I would assume that you got something to go back on. Instead of just saying, well, you're gonna have to go after the contractor.
Yeah, I mean, we generally have a lot of, as part of every project, there's usually a punch list, and if they've torn up stuff in the right of way, we don't specifically have in our contract that it basically says you have to restore it, you know, so we always list those things, you gotta fix that, pick that up, we're always doing this.
But if it's outside of the right.
Even then, we would say, you know, they're not supposed to go, but if they have an easement, then yeah, it says they have to restore the easement too. That's what our contract said. They usually incorporate whatever conditions we have in our easement.
I think that covers it.
So, I mean, it's not in here, but it's in in our other requirements.
But we could still be the middleman to the contractor. Oh, absolutely. In the owner's behalf.
Well, and we generally do that before they have the chance to, they either have already complained to us or we say, well, it's on our punch list, or you told them to fix it. And they said they've got so-and-so coming out on Thursday, you know, it's that kind of. So
That's the way twin oaks should do business anyway.
yeah, most all the cities do. I mean, it's like, cities don't go around just tearing all this stuff off, you know, and then not doing anything. All this was trying to say was in these general cases where people are putting stuff in our right of way, we're not gonna repair all that stuff. That's your stuff. That's really what we were trying to say. It wasn't so much about, oh, guess what? You know, but there is the point when we're doing our own project, don't sue us for what the contractor did, but we'll make sure the contractor fixes it. But we want to come right out and say, we will make sure, because it's like, well, if they don't,
Then you leave yourself open.
yeah, we might all have to sue.
Right, in subsection D of this, we have, or replacement at the property owner's owner or other responsible person's expense. Second owner should come out, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah.
Or other responsible
Unless it
persons.
is.
I think
Yeah.
it said owner before, and then it just got added without. That's just my guess, because it doesn't read right.
Owners should come out.
That
If we're saying,
or other responsible person. I'll leave that as companies.
right,
Just off them.
I think the strange part of this
And
to
then-
me is that snowplow really does this job on Barn Road. Although it's Twin Oaks is straight, you know, all the stone and the, you know, uplands they're tore up. You know, reinforced. I don't know what that contract is.
Like on that wall areas that we're talking about, I would imagine, right? I don't know how that would.
Yeah, every job.
Yeah.
Which one? Well, generally the walls that go into a driveway or into
You're like making a
a
right,
type
you
driveway.
go up to go around,
Yeah.
like that whole wall, right? There's no way they'll come up to that.
I'm sure they don't try to hit it, but
No.
usually to a blind. Yeah. Yeah. Reinforcement that.
Well, I think at least bringing it to their attention. So that they can
So
try
I think
not
if they
do
hit
that.
the wall, absolutely.
I have to think we
But
It's our
just
property.
pushing snow up there.
I think we've got two different contractors working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each other.
Okay,
Rather doing the streets, because somebody else doing it, right, in smaller sections. Yeah. And condominium guys don't seem to have any place to go with the snow.
right, I mean, where do you put it?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
this
I
kind
can
of
see that being a problem,
so,
especially,
I think all in all, they did a pretty well. Yeah. Okay,
I have one question before we go on, only because I have no idea what we're referring to here. So, we several times in here refer to property owner or other responsible person's expense, other responsible person, like, who is that person?
It's defined in this, in section
Is it,
above there, but let me go get you to this. So in B1, it says, the responsible persons are all property owners, lessees, or occupants, and
Got it.
all agents or representatives of such owners, lessees.
that makes
or
sense,
Good.
okay, cool, thank you.
okay, so we're gonna take that one owners out.
What was the other typo he said?
That B, it should be subsection B, not, which I fixed on the one that's in the in Java, as is the extra O.
Okay. So. Read it again, please.
Bill number 26-02, an ordinance amending section 500.105 of the Twin Oaks Municipal Code pertaining to the maintenance of a budding
Right. With two amendments.
Like, yeah, typo fix.
Typo fixes. Not amendments, right? Typo correction. Motion to approve Bill 2602.
Motion to approve, Bill 2602.
Second. Call roll, please.
Alderman Eisenhower,
Yes,
Alderman Cruzen,
Yes.
Alderman Crawford,
Yes.
Alderman Stoll.
Yes. Bill 2602 becomes ordinance 2602 by unanimous vote.
And, I and Paula and April and Tiffany will make sure that all our agreements that we, every time we're very vigilant to make sure there's something in there that says that we can go back after the property, I mean, the contractor, if they do something to tear up stuff in the road.
Very good. Okay, bill number 2603.
Bill number 2603, an ordinance of the city of Twin Oaks approving a contract with St. Louis County, Missouri for vector control services and authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with St. Louis County, Missouri for those services.
Discussion about mosquito control.
Yeah, when did they do it?
Middle of the night.
Did they?
Yeah. They usually do it around 2 o'clock in the morning.
You hear the machine.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to come when there's not many people outside, so I think they switch to 2 o'clock. Contract with the county or do it themselves? I think they do it themselves.
Because I've seen a truck go down Crescent Road.
Yeah.
Crescent Avenue. I don't think I've ever seen it go down Golden Hill, but when you say they do it at 2 a.m., what I see is something more like maybe. I'm just wondering if that's Twin Oaks. If that's the case, then
That's probably valid point, yes.
Paul, do we get any confirmation from them that they do it?
And we don't really know exactly.
Do they bill us when they do it, or monthly, or once, or annually, or?
It's annual.
So we're closed.
Do they stay on the main streets? Do they drive around Burnwood and I don't think they do. I think they just do
Given the number of mosquitoes,
Autumn Leaf and Burnwood Drive.
they aren't there all. I lost almost a quart of blood one night.
I would just about say they don't show up. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I would think that back in your area, you would have less effectiveness because they're only going on the street, which
Yeah.
means it can't get very far.
That's true.
And your wooded areas are in the middle and then on the outside. So the area that they're doing back there, and when they go on this side of my house and this side, I would say I would have a whole lot more mosquitoes. Only because we have a pond down there and whatever, and they
Yeah.
do both the main streets, you know, I don't think they, I know they don't go to the cemetery, they don't turn around and drive. But yeah, I would think that there are some areas that are really not well covered because what they're doing in the vehicle is going to go only on street areas.
There's some deep portions all over the door.
Yeah, no, forget it, right? You can't get back in there unless someone's going in with some sort of little, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Put some tanks on John's bike.
If you have John start driving around. Thank you.
You can do it.
Can we have some sort of little motors? With the boys out there?
I think the drone would be great.
And when you
Need a
aerial
bigger,
footage.
need a bigger drum.
Okay. If you read 2603.
A bill number 2603, an ordinance of the city of Twin Oaks approving a contract with St. Louis County, Missouri Vector Control Services and authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with St. Louis County, Missouri for those services.
I move we approve 2603.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Eisenhower.
Yes.
Alderman Cruiser.
Yes.
Alderman Crawford.
Yes.
Alderman Stokel.
Yes.
Bill 2603 becomes ordinance 2603 by unanimous vote. Discussion items, attorney's report.
Nothing specific, just watching what's going on down at the state legislature, and also various little things here and there. That's it.
Anything significant in the legislature that you think might affect us?
If they're working again to require cities to move the utilities out of our right of way, even though we allow them in the right of way for free, so they're doing that again. And that's gonna be a significant expense, like even your Crescent Road project would have been twice the price if you would have no damage and stuff. Yeah, so that one's huge. If that happens, projects, the residents are just gonna pay so much for everything. Even though we have to let them, we used to be able to charge them rent for being an attorney, we can't do that anymore. Now we're gonna have to pay to get them out. So even though they got in there under different pretexts, so it's all crazy.
Will this project be grandfathered or would it be affected?
Oh, I'm sure that there's no way. If they write it the way they did, they'll have emergency clause and go into effect 2 years.
Right, she's like,
Yeah.
he'll be taking money from us, since we already did.
Exactly.
And they have a huge lobby.
Yes, they did.
Well, yeah, how they got it free.
And of course, the other thing, the other big thing that's going on, we're trying to do away with state income. Which would be interesting. To do that, they're going to raise sales tax. It doesn't make sense. The next section, they talk about let's eliminate sales. It's crazy.
I know, because yeah, wasn't there, I don't know if it was.
It's just on food.
Sales tax on food or whatever, like, is that bad?
And I think that's what happened several times.
Yeah.
Different bills.
So, yeah, it's, right now, there is a lot going on. That's all good. Unfortunately, I think these right-of-way people are gonna win out because they always seem to have the votes. Yeah, that's all. Okay. Paula, would you like to, we got a copy from April of her stuff. There might be a few things that we might want to highlight.
Just wanted, I mean, the snow event, last week did go rather well. I think the streets were taken care of and Jake and the mayor coordinated with Crowder. Throughout that weekend.
Can I ask a question? Is Jake doing salt on the road?
Yes.
Some of it.
Yes, he will do that.
Retreat
Yes.
from previous. Actually, I'm out there doing it. It's like, it seemed to work pretty well. It's great.
We, just so you know, if you make a snowplow run through the city, it's about $400, which I think is pretty good. You make a salt run through the city, it's about 25. So in this last storm, Crowder was wanting to salt first. We said no, because everybody was saying, don't put salt down yet. So we didn't put salt in. We strategically snowplowed when it got 4 inches. And we snowplowed once through the night and then once early in the morning. So that if people had to get out and go to work, they could do that. We only put salt down twice, I think. So we held them off on the salt as much as we could, and then Jake hit spots. They can do pretty much most of the streets. It's a lot to do with that little salter that they have. You have to keep loading up with maize.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
But that does save a lot of money if you can eliminate a salt. So,
And especially in this last one, when you are at those with dumpsters, salt is not melted.
Right.
So, your choice to run the street.
Yeah.
It's not helping.
Yeah.
Sub-zero.
But I will say with Crowder, it's great. They're great to work with because you have to hold them off sometimes, but when you need them, they're there in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They're
Yeah,
ready to go.
the guy was coming through to do salt while we were shoveling out our driveway. So we had our cars, like we were every which where, just because we needed to get them out so that we
Yeah.
could, And so I'm like, hang on. And he was very nice. Like, it's no problem. Like, no, I want your salt. I'm like, I'll move them. I'll get them out of your way. So they were, also very nice.
They're real. I haven't heard of these snow tools that can put it on the front of the truck and it will just do like the front of the driveways. I've heard of those.
Well, it's on
My
the
guess
side.
is it would be similar to
It's
like
on the side.
thing that goes
and it goes
down.
down. But you talk about something that could really wipe out every mailbox.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea, but you just go a little bit further, bam,
Well,
that's one
and-
down.
Yeah.
And in the snow, you can't really tell what the end of that is. Like between, picture somebody trying to do it at yours.
Yeah.
Because where does that actual rock come down?
Yeah.
Where does your maybe nice bottom to your thing happen? So I think it works well almost in your outer areas, right? When
Yeah.
it's just a big open area. I think it's very similar to those, like, we're gonna cut the grass on the side, it's just this thing that goes down. But I don't think they have a lot, I don't think they have enough control to do it in our types of areas.
Well, everybody seemed to get through this one. This was pretty bad.
This is, the work goes down a long time, so it's stay home, take it through.
There is, when we're talking about pavement being needed and repaired, the American Water up on Crescent Avenue had done some repair work up there for water line break. And their fix is less agreeable, and Jake has been following up on that. I know that he's gonna be talking with somebody from Missouri American Water on Monday.
When was the water break?
Do you remember? I
When?
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so it may just be a temporary.
Well, he did share an email, and one contractor said because the temperatures, they couldn't put down what they usually do.
Exactly.
So it was a temporary thing, but they will come back to us, and Jake's gonna follow up, because since we just did that overlay on it, we wanna keep it honest. And it was already bobbing now. The citywide, the spring cleanup, and that's gonna be the weekend, the last weekend in March. It's gonna be the same thing that we did for the fall cleanup when we did branches and yard waste, but this is gonna be your spring cleanup, so this is gonna be for
Putting the dumpsters out there.
dumpsters out, to be able to clear off junk in your yard, or
This is for personal stuff, like your garage.
people will be, but it's, yes, but not
No paint.
TVs, not,
Right, nothing they can't otherwise.
No electronics.
no electronics.
Carpet.
And nothing liquid, we will put that in there, because the thing is with the liquid, he said, you put something in it that's liquid, and then they come to pick it up, then you have it all over the street. Whatever it is, if it's oil, if it's paint, or if it's anything like that, so he suggested those things, put out parameters about, well, true, but we'll have it in there. People seem to be pretty happy with having something that they can go to and get rid of a lot of stuff all at once. So I'm hoping that that's gonna go well. April did enroll in the Municipal Governance Institute, so she is going to be certified municipal official. And she's gonna be starting that soon, and then of course the new website. And it looks beautiful, it's gonna be great. It's going to be great. We just got a few kinks to work out, but even with those, if you go on the site and you can see how many spaces are left for bingo. And it's working. And once we get it ironed down, it's gonna be really nice. And of course, then there's been and I've also really enjoyed the fact that there have been a number of residents that have called that have signed up and asked, hey, I was looking for some type of confirmation. Can you put that on there so that we know that it's in there. And of course and I've been helping a few other people navigate it, but it's working, and I'm looking forward to see what else we can do. And get the 311 up and working, which will be a nice place for people to be able to go. They see something, that they have a pothole, they can go on there and they can say if there's a pothole, or if there's something with
Generates a work order.
and then Jake can respond to it, and you can also put it up there. We're gonna have a map system, so you can go on there and you can see, oh, okay, this was reported, so if you see something, Joe, and then Lisa sees the same thing, and she goes on there, she can see that, oh, that was already reported, and I can see that they're gonna be working on it. It is gonna be there. If it is something that is for MoDOT, or if it's something for the county, Jake will also have just an email that he can send out saying, this is not Twin Oaks' responsibility, it's the county's, please contact these people. So that you will actually have some place to go with those requests.
So the intent would be to report everything, like, that they want.
Yes.
Legit.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll got something in the park, something on the roadways, residential.
They've been working up lists of typical complaints, which is kind of interesting.
Those are fun. Let's see, and Chico reservations are going great. The park access. BFA was out this morning with, let's see, it was MSD and Missouri American Water. Learning where all of the water is going to and what's going to have to be done. BFA did drop off preliminary plans for that project, and they're in the other room out there if you'd like to go there and see it. And again, this is the preliminary stuff. So they're moving along. The park lighting, we will have representatives here in the next meeting on the 21st. to explain some issues that have come up with phase two, that includes the Wi-Fi. And for us
Was
to
it
be able to
Simplify or what was their company?
simplify.
Who?
No, that's.
Anyway, the company was gonna do the Wi-Fi and the lights around they basically, they were a subcontractor of Voss.
Yes,
And they notified Voss that they couldn't do the project after they came and made all those promises to us. So we went back to Voss and basically said, hey, look, one of the main reasons we did this project was phase two. And this was not acceptable to us. And we would like the president of the company to come to the next board meeting and explain to us what the options are at this point in time, because this is totally unacceptable. And he did, the president did come back and he said that they have made good progress looking for an alternate solution, and that they think in the long run will end up better than we would have in the first place. So I'm looking forward to hearing what that is when it comes.
Is this about the remote control?
It's about the Wi-Fi and
which also does help with the remote control.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was, these aren't just street lights.
Yeah.
These are lights that give us some options for cameras to be able to lower them, to be able to turn them off when we want, turn them on when we want, to be able to have sensors on. And right now, all we have is just some pretty light poles, and it's a big expense for nothing else that has come out of it.
and to do the pathway lighting. So anyway, he'll be at our next meeting.
Yes. And then the last thing is the Merrimack Sidewalk Project. There have been a number of firms that have already reached out to us, interest with what's going to be happening there. So,
Should be getting a number of bids.
yes. And that's all April has to say.
She's drinking a margarita.
Yes, she is. She better have a martini, espresso martini.
Hey, well, my thanks to everybody for pitching in with the snow event. That was a challenge. Jake and Isaiah and everybody, appreciate it. Appreciate the patience of the residents. They did seem to stay off the roads more than usual, so that helped a lot. And I think just about everybody cleared the roads with these couple cars exceptions. So it made snow plowing a little bit easier.
Did we take those cars when they don't do it?
We
We haven't, I know we did once before, but I don't know.
we had one car that was stationary back on Foley
Yeah, there were two that.
that was not being moved. One of them moves periodically, the other one never moves. The one that never moves, we took care of that. I don't know about the one periodically, I guess they're still back there.
I mean, they leave.
Yeah.
It just, both of those were out during the snow event, so I wasn't sure if we were at least, ticketing to say, we have to move it off, like.
They were, they went to a warning before we had to take it.
Have you ever ticketed for them?
This has been the only snow event
Yeah,
I've had.
right, we really haven't had very many where it mattered. This was only a problem because the portion that sits there, like now, you can only use one half of the pole. Because it's, that car is plowed in, they do eventually get their own car out, but you can't then drive, like now, it's 40 degrees, so it's nothing, but like, for the rest of the week, it was go around the snow pile that is now where the car was. So it doesn't matter that they moved the car after, you now can't use that part of the street. Houses can come back, because they aren't gonna clear out all the way around the car.
And it's close to the stop sign.
Yeah, that's right. The other one was halfway back. It did make Foley a little fun.
Alderman comments? Yep.
Excuse me, I would echo what people said about snow removal. It's such a huge challenge when you don't do it very often. I think we did have kind of a dry run last year, so it went a little better this year, but hopefully we won't have to worry about it next year.
I think county also did good job keeping the 141 intersection open this time. And the ramps, I think we're in fairly good shape.
MoDOT was out a lot more than I've ever seen them on 141 in the ramps.
Seemed like everybody was pretty well prepared for this. Anything else? No, that's it. Jim? No, sir. No, thanks. Lisa?
No, I thought that we did well in the snow. I mean, we didn't leave our house. Eventually the kids sledding or something, and two days of truck, and I think that was the other effect, at least from my perspective, is I planned on just staying in, right? And like, sometimes we don't have that luxury. If it's the middle of the week, you don't really have, like, so it was like, I was like, I'm just gonna stay home for a couple of days.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work from here. So the kids were off school. I think that made the clearing a little easier than the other one that was unexpected. This one was a little more expected, and I feel like we were better prepared for it. I didn't even see this intersection until Tuesday. That was big part of office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we did good. So
Got to get the intersection cleared so those kids could sled over there.
exactly.
There was a lot.
Is there any problem with people trying to park up there?
No.
Joe?
We've got a couple of signs on the, what I call the back or the church side of the lake, warning about the thin ice. And I know that there's a couple on the front side, but they're not very prominent. The only reason I bring that up is that I had to ask a couple of kids to get off the ice yesterday. One of them explained to me that as long as it's 6 inches, it's okay. I got an experience as a kid their age with my friends with ice. And so it's like, it's a thing for me. But the two signs on that side, one is kind of buried in the bushes over by the gazebo, and the other one is, I think it's actually down. We might consider
Maybe more signs?
either more or just maybe
Better replacement.
Yeah. The kids that were there yesterday, all I saw them was taking the lid off one of the trash cans off of the ice. I don't know how it got out there. They did it, or they were doing it, doesn't matter. But the sign, I think we need to be.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is fish a kid up. And then I went to the soft opening yesterday for Wing Snow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed. They have the same detail though of the overhang with the drainage.
The ice?
Driven right, it is right in the center, right as you come in off the parking lot. Yeah, that's a good condition. And I don't know if that's landlord or if that's part of what they did when they redid their space.
Well, I didn't realize this, but Duncan owns both of them.
I didn't.
They own Wingstop.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
own that.
They own Wingstop also.
Yeah.
So is there drive-through access or is it all walk-in? It's all walk-in.
Yeah. But I was, it's more than just wings. I got signatures and fingers.
They have seating? They have seating?
I think there's a little bit of seating.
Couple tables.
Alcohol?
Is it? Good. Any final citizen comments on? With that, I'll make a motion. Adjourn. All in favor? Aye.